Hey you guys, it is me, Laura. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, ages 3, 8, and 10. And today I thought we would talk a little bit about morning basket and book basket. What are they? What's the difference? And are they something you want in your homeschool? So I know that homeschool is dynamic and it changes, and there might be seasons of your life where you might do one of these or both of these or neither of these. There might be other seasons where it's absolutely perfect for what you need for your homeschool. And one thing to know too is that if you decide to do either of these, you can change and adapt them over time. There's not one right way to do either of these concepts. The first thing to know is that they're both called baskets. You've got morning basket and book basket, but honestly, you don't have to have a basket. It can be a bookshelf where you put stuff. It can be a bin. It can be anything. It does not need to be a basket, but generally it helps to have all your resources for either of these baskets in one place. I actually happen to have mine in baskets just because the house that we moved into came furnished and there were tons of baskets, but I've seen people use all kinds of things. So don't feel like you have to run out and get a basket. You can use something you have at home. Like I said, a bookshelf works just fine. Just whatever works for you. So what is the difference between a morning basket and a book basket? What are they? So I'm going to go ahead and start with morning basket, and you have probably heard a lot about morning basket, and I'm not sure if Pam Barnhill started the morning basket or if she just popularized it, but it doesn't even actually have to be done in the morning, contrary to its name. But this is a time when the family comes together and you do activities and reading together as a family. Some people like to do this at the beginning of their day so that they can start the homeschool day out together, united, all as a group. Some people like to do it before they go to bed in the evening. Some people do it over lunch. So it doesn't have to be done in the morning. And the way that morning baskets look really vary from homeschool to homeschool. So sometimes people will grab a bunch of resources that they want to go over during the school year and they don't know where to put it, and they'll put them in the morning basket. Things like poetry, memorization, if you want to do artist studies or hymn studies or poetry, or maybe there's a really good book that you want to cover, or a resource or a topic that you want to cover and you don't know where else to put it in your homeschool, that would be something that could go in your morning basket. A lot of people will also put their family devotions or any kind of Bible study related stuff in their morning baskets. Read alouds are also very popular for morning baskets. Now, some people will also choose to do a theme for their morning basket. Now, mine is typically somewhat themed just because I do unit studies. And so my morning basket will go with the rest of the unit study. But even people who don't do unit studies, you can choose a theme to base your basket on. So you could do a theme like going to the farm, and everything in your morning basket would be about the farm. Or you could do a theme like transportation. So everything in your morning basket relates to transportation. That's another way that you can do it. What I typically have in my morning basket is some trivia that we can do as a family that matches our unit study, a logic game that we can do together that matches our unit study. I will have a book for my 3-year-old that will particularly appeal to her. This is where we put our devotions. This is the time of day when we do our read aloud. And this is also when I will add in our nonfiction reading for our history or science. But it really depends. Some people will do morning baskets that last an hour or sometimes even 2 hours for older children. Other people will do morning baskets that are 30 minutes, especially if you have smaller kids with a shorter attention span. Some people will have a huge amount of books that they rotate through. So maybe every Tuesday and Thursday, they might do a book about presidents of the United States because that's something that they want to study but doesn't fit into the unit study. Maybe on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they might do something about countries of the world because, again, maybe that doesn't fit in, but they want to include that into their homeschool. So that's a way to do it. I do know that Pam Barnhill does have some resources every month that she releases where it's a themed pack that you can get of stuff for your morning basket. I know that they were doing ships at one point. I think they've done space. And anyway, it's got a lot of ideas in there as well. But that's the idea of the morning basket. I honestly wasn't on board for the morning basket for a long time, but as I was pulling these things into our homeschool and didn't know where to put them, morning basket made a lot of sense to me. And we start ours during breakfast while the kids are eating. They're very slow for breakfast, so this is a good way to spend some time together while everybody's sitting at the table anyway. Now the next thing is book basket. So how is book basket different from morning basket? Because morning basket is typically full of books to read together and things to do together. Book basket is a term that comes from my father's world. I was first introduced to the book basket when I was doing the Exploring Countries and Cultures section of my father's world. It's the first in their rotation before you get into the chronological time period for kids. I think it's 3rd grade and up or 4th grade and up. And I actually did that with my kids when they were younger, and we enjoyed it. But they encourage you getting, in that particular study, a bunch of books on the topic of each country that you're learning about, and just kind of letting the kids feast on them, letting them pick what they want to read, and letting them explore that topic a little bit farther. So that's really what a book basket is, except you don't just have to use this for different countries of the world. So for example, when I'm doing a unit study, I will pull all kinds of books from the library that are things that are mentioned in our read aloud that I think the kids might want to know more about, things that have to do with that time period or that scientific concept. I'll pull biographies, picture books. I will even put chapter books in there that I think that my oldest might want to read, but that I don't want to assign to him, that he can pick up. And usually you set aside time every day where your kids will go and spend time in the book basket. So if your kids aren't reading yet, you can handle that one or two ways. You can either just let them look at the books and enjoy looking at the pictures and enjoy being on a part that way. What I'll do is I let my kids pick if they want to read the books on their own or if they want me to read them to them. I'm happy to read them the books as well. But we usually spend about 15 minutes a day on a book basket. I would say anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes would be completely reasonable for this. And I will try to rotate things out in the basket and not have too much in there at once, because that's overwhelming. So I'll pull stuff they're either not interested in or they've already done and are ready to move on from, and I'll update and add new stuff from time to time. So a book basket can be a really great way to let your kids individualize whatever you're learning together as a family, and give them a way to kind of explore that a little farther and in areas that they're interested in on their own. So I hope that is helpful for you. This is one of our new little kittens. We have 2 kittens. This is Panda. Say hi, Panda. She's purring. They're so sweet. But I hope that that was helpful for you as you look at book basket and morning basket. And maybe there's even just a tiny bit of an idea that you can glean from one, but there's really no rules about what to use or what not to use or how to do it. But when you hear these topics, this is what people are talking about, and people probably use them in different ways. But I'm interested if you use a morning basket or a book basket in your homeschool, how you use it and what you do with it, and or if you don't use one, why it's just not the right thing for your family. I would love to hear more about it in the comments below. Be sure to look for the video coming up on Monday. I actually filmed a day in the life. Can you believe it? I'm going to try to do one with each of the unit studies that we do, just one day from that unit study. So I've got that coming up on Monday. And next week I hope to bring you a book haul. I'm so excited. I've got some books coming from Book Outlet as well as Better World Books. And I hope that you guys are having a great summer. I'll talk to you later.